And
How
so do I just look, I'll just look there.
Okay.
I don't want to be
wherever
rude.
you want to go.
I don't want to be
No, you're fine.
Up to you, whatever you're comfortable with.
Yeah. How was this branch? How did everything get created here?
Okay, you mean, we have 3 stations here.
Oh, okay.
We have CBS 8, which is the CBS affiliate, then we have 2 radio stations. So you're talking about, I'm sure, television, right? We actually, last year, celebrated our 65th anniversary.
Wow.
We were the first television station in San Diego. Really proud of that. So May 16th this year, we celebrated our 66th. This is the 3rd building we've been in. We've been a CBS affiliate since our inception, when we came on the air back in 1949. And actually, I produced a show last year on our 65th anniversary.
Oh.
So it started, first TV station on the air. We've had a history of first television station to broadcast in color, first television station in San Diego to broadcast in surround sound, and really important, first San Diego television station to broadcast what we call multi-day part newscasts. Back in the day, and I'll show you the history wall. You can grab some
that'd be
pictures for
awesome.
your report. It used to be maybe only 1 newscast or maybe 2 newscasts. We were the first station in San Diego to do multi-newscasts across the day. And why that's really important is news is extremely competitive in this market, and it's the bulk of the revenue generators for local television stations. So we were the first to broadcast in HD. So we're really proud of that. This is the 3rd building we've been in. We started on Pacific Highway, then a building downtown, and we've been here through the 70s. What's really cool is the kind of second ownership, which began, I want to say at least 50 years ago, was the Meyer family. Mr. Meyer purchased the station. Then when I started in the 80s, it was his son who owned the station, and what's really cool is now his daughter, Elizabeth
How
Meyer
cute.
Kimmel, owns the station, and she is a Stanford undergrad, a Harvard Law School grad. And what's really cool about that is we are one of the most high-powered CBS affiliates in the country, but we're family owned. And for instance, like Elizabeth comes in every day. She's also our general counsel. And you don't see that at a high-powered network affiliate. It's corporate. And why that's a benefit to us is we can expedite everything. We can get with our owner on site, we can get decisions made quicker, and so it's fabulous. Plus, we get to know our owner. I mean, you know, you
that's
just
definitely
in
right.
this kind of business, you don't see that. The other thing being, I just want to touch on being a CBS affiliate. We're really proud. I mean, and the fact, as you know, CBS America's Most Watched Network, but we've been an affiliate since our inception. What that allows us to do is air CBS programming, news programming, and network programming.
Okay.
Before we move on to the next question, how did CBS get, I guess,
Become
brought
our
to
affiliate?
San Diego?
Yeah, and that's a good question, because just because we started as a CBS affiliate doesn't mean that you always remain an affiliate. Your contract is for X amount of years, and you have to keep renegotiating. And fortunately, it's worked out for us, you know.
And then, like you say, you're San Diego, for San Diego, so does that mean only people in San Diego can reach your information?
Yeah, I
or-
mean, you know, obviously online now,
Yeah.
because we're multimedia, goes anywhere, multi-platform, I should say. Yes, and here's an interesting fact too. When you look at television market size, you're looking at what your DMAs are, and we're 28, which is like, okay, that's not a top 10, but it's because of geography. Mexico's down below us, Los Angeles is above us, so we're never going, while we're a very high billing station in a sophisticated market, our geography kind of puts us between that 25 to 28 DMA ranking.
Okay. And then you talked about how much you guys have grown. Was that in mind? Like, were those your goals to grow this big, or have you guys?
Well, I wasn't here like 65 years ago,
Yeah.
but I'm sure it's it's the nature of the business. You're always looking ahead. You're not always looking at where you are now. You're always looking ahead, and a big portion of that, as you all know, is technology.
Absolutely.
We're constantly thinking, okay, where are we going to be like 2 years from now, 5 years from now? We've seen such a growth. I mean, from when I started, there wasn't. Now we have this huge interactive department. Now when we produce, we can't just produce for television. We have to produce for mobile. We have to produce, online computers are different than producing elements for mobile and phones.
Absolutely.
And you think of advertising revenue too. That's coming from not only on air, but your mobile platforms. So to answer your question, yeah, we're always, and what kind of technology do you need? What kind of cameras do you need? How can we get the news to you quicker or faster? So we're always looking to grow, not only size, but grow in terms of how the elements you need to get your programming and your information out. Does that make sense?
No, very much.
Yeah, very much.
How do you guys raise most of your finances here?
Through advertising. We have a sales team, a marketing and interactive, and a television sales team. And they are the ones, how a television station makes its money, its revenue, is ratings. And depending on what your ratings are, that sets, and we have key rating periods, which the key rating periods are November, May, and February. July is a rating period, but in that, however, we just came out of the May book, what our ratings show, then that determines what we can pay, what we can charge for advertising, for spots, and which gets into the whole other thing. Like I ask when I do tours with kids, it's like, how many times do you get a report card? 2 or 3 times, maybe 4 times a year. We
Yeah.
get a report card every day
Yeah.
from Nielsen Media Research. So if you need me to get into that, I will, if that's part of it.
I
or-
think you should be good on that.
Okay.
But like on talking about those peak months that you guys have that are big rating months, are there like different strategies that change for like your marketing or advertising that you do?
Absolutely. We're constantly looking at who our audience is in terms of television and mobile web users. We look at demographics, and we look, well, to get back, we get ratings every day. So we get a sense that not only tells us who our viewers are in this market, but we can look nationally. So we're constantly evaluating, okay, are there trends? Is something going up? Is something going down? We look at our content. We look at our promotion. We look at our marketing. So we're looking at that every single day to kind of stay on top of everything. How sales will sell from those key rating points periods is they will look at total households, they'll look at shares, and they'll look at demos, and target, base their advertising on the research that they get back with those numbers.
Okay. And then
Does that make sense?
Yeah, totally.
that does. And then you talked about how you guys are constantly looking at numbers and kind of basing it off of that.
Right.
How did you guys deal with like the economy kind of downfalling in like the past couple of years? And then how'd you what were your strategies?
Major cutbacks.
Okay.
Major, like every industry.
Yeah, everyone does
Yeah,
that.
every industry. It's really interesting. In a way, it kind of got back to sort of survival of the fittest. It's like we got back to you really had to multitask, and I mean, they were major cutbacks across the board. The other thing that really hurt the television industry, if you think about it, when the economy took a really hit, some of our biggest advertisers are car dealerships and home furniture, and those were some of the 2 areas of businesses that really took a hit. So it was tough. It was a tough couple years, 2-3 years, and again, cutbacks. But our product, even though we had cutbacks, we wanted to have our product and our news and the quality of our product remain the same.
Okay. And then what like you kept talking about what are the most effective times for advertisements or like placements?
It depends. It depends on who is advertising. There might, for instance, one advertiser, their demos may be more stay-at-home moms, so that might be, early morning. It just depends who your target audience is and who your advertisers are. And we have a marketing sales team that really is good at working with the advertisers to go, okay, we know your brand, we know your product, we're going to help you look at our programming to see what best fits your goals. Does that make sense? So we normally advertising on a TV station, the later you go in the day, the more expensive it is.
Mm-hmm.
So reverse of radio.
Yeah.
Radio is usually early morning.
Absolutely.
But that doesn't always mean that an advertiser, the best fit for that advertiser would be late at night or prime time. Do you know what I mean? That depends. Does that make sense?
No,
that
that
depends.
does.
So we have a whole research marketing sales team that works personally with advertisers to find the best fit, to see what programming to place their advertising in will be the best for that advertiser or that product.
Okay, and then so how do you guys measure like the success of the company?
A lot of ways. Obviously revenue, ratings. We also, if we're like on the production side, our news side, it's, do we deliver consistently? Are we accurate? Are we, and there are all those factors. So it's a combination of your ratings, your revenue, your content. Does that make, yeah.
And then what
Our bosses would probably look at ratings and bottom,
ratings are very
and
important,
bottom line, and
especially
can you get the advertising dollars in?
Absolutely, the revenue.
Yeah.
What are like the future goals for the company? Just
keep growing, keep delivering, keep on the cutting edge, really on the cutting edge of technology to be able to get our product to all of you, again, whether it be on TV or be multi-platform. Incredible creative programming, solid news, programming information to get it to you faster, to get it. We are a CBS. We're very proud of being a CBS news station. We are the breaking news leader station in this market. But in addition to expediency, it's accuracy. We of course we will want to. We are the breaking news leader. We want to get everything to you first and fast, but the news department will tell you its credibility and its accuracy. As I don't think to give you an example, expediency will never trump accuracy. Okay. Even though we are the breaking news. I mean, we go by source rules. We're journalists. Everybody in the newsroom is a trained journalist. And that is for you all starting out in this business. If you choose, that's the biggest thing is to know the difference between what is journalism and what is news and what is blogging and what is tweeting. Not that we use tweets, but and knowing your sources. And just because you read something on the internet, you can't just put it on the air.
Absolutely.
You have to confirm your sources.
Mm-hmm.
And then, who would you consider your guys' target audience?
Again, it varies throughout the day. It varies. We love to think we not only have the majority of San Diegans use CBS 8. I mean, I think our 5 o'clock news, I think you add up the other 3 to 4 top 3, definitely the top 3 affiliates, and our numbers, there 3 combined, are, our numbers are higher, but our demographics vary across the board, and we're proud of that.
And you talked about how your demographics like vary and stuff. What would be like an example of that? So like at what particular point of the day?
Oh,